Hi everyone, welcome to the Movieception Show. I am Fariba, and today we're going to have a very special night watching a very special MCU movie or TV movie called Werewolf by Night. And if you haven't already heard about this film or this TV, whatever, right? This special right here, it's been getting a lot of rave reviews from people everywhere, right? I mean, this is essentially considered one of Marvel Studios' best ever project thus far. It's not exactly connected to the MCU from the looks of it, but it does have its Marvel origins, and of course, it's very fitting for it to be released around the Halloween season. So, yeah, I'm super excited to watch this. So, without further ado, let's watch Werewolf by Night.
Bloodstone has died. Tonight, this is funeral. Hunters have gathered from around the globe. Self among them.
It's a beauty, isn't it? 57 confirmed kills myself. Next year's my 30th season.
I can almost smell the blood in your hands. No, but him I fought a few times. He's never been so alive.
Give me what's mine, I'll leave now.
What aspect of the bloodstone are we after exactly? The strength it lends, the protection, longevity.
Bruce, so what I do with it after I've owned it will be none of your business.
Your father. Instead, you seem satisfied to emulate your mother. I did what I could with you.
Shame I didn't turn out.
Don't be too easy on yourself. You were the greatest disappointment of his life.
Well.
So many death dealers in one room. Oh, my dear heart. Thank you.
Do hope my attendance delights you.
Me too.
Thank you, Verusa, for seeing it through and for shaping our course. Unlike anything you've faced, will be released into these sacred grounds. The hunter who slays this beast will become our new leader, taking possession of my bloodstone.
Okay.
Good luck. I'll be rotting for you.
Through decades of absence, Elsa has long forsaken that birthright.
Damn. That's
The
shade.
only weapons permitted tonight have been placed. Welcome to join. And like the rest of you, she's fair game. No special. The others will follow. I'd say the stone was in place. Off you go.
Oh, so this is like a maze. Okay. So yeah, basically the Hunger Games.
I suggest we just pass each other by.
What?
I suggest we just pass each other by.
Oh. Yeah, this is like Hunger Games but bounty hunter style, huh? That's Black Widow, alright. That's Black Widow style. Oh, snap. Oh. Oh. That was bloody. Oh, snap. Elsa. Or Elsie. Oh, shit. What in the world?
Well, of course I was gonna find you. Of course. Are you okay? They said that the storm would do that.
Oh, snap.
I have a plan. Look, so apparently, these little things. Okay. But it's bleeding a lot. It has to be tight and even.
Wow, thank you for that.
I have to.
Didn't fight before either, did you? Running into me. And that maniac with the axe, and you didn't fight. I have to say I'm having a hard time believing you hunted and killed monsters.
I'm not that type of hunter. At least know that those spears out there.
Yeah, neither am I.
No? It's not in your DNA then.
Friend.
Yeah.
Careful.
I understand. It must be complicated.
Yeah.
She said that if I misbehaved, she would unlock her tomb. Come out and pull me back in there with her for company. An exit strategy. Explosive. Throw it at the wall, it will stick, then get clear.
Okay.
And Jack, cross me, I'll kill you both.
Okay. Hey, when you run into him, just treat him like an old friend. Call him by his name.
Which is?
Ted. He's called Ted.
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 How do you turn this on? Because I think it.
Turn it off.
No.
Oh, snap.
Ted? You have a lovely name. And
God. Oh my god. Oh my god. Freedom. What just happened? Is it vexed?
A monster
Oh.
masquerading as one of our own.
I couldn't tell you, you know. It wasn't safe.
oh, wait, did you think it might cloud my judgment of it?
I know. I'm an idiot, I know. But I'm also a human. Perhaps not in the category that you would call a human.
I love how he's giving off the werewolf vibes.
You see, I've got
5 days. Bloodstone's capable of transforming you in 5 seconds. Thanks in advance for making it quick.
Dang.
And this is what? I need to remember you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You gotta remember him.
What is it, what?
Her.
Lived in hope. I wonder how I feel about you hunting me. Better than you feel about your betrayal. But once this is over, you'll notice my hands are clean. His.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay. What's that? Okay. Oh, snap. Oh! Oh my god! Wow, I did not think that was gonna be this bloody. Oh! Oh! Oh, snap!
You let him go! You will now die. And the hallowed bloodstone!
Oh, sweet victory.
He went that way.
Hello, they're playing Wizards of Oz. Very fitting song, too.
Is she okay? Good. That's good. Well, who comes to your rescue? What are you talking about? Whatever.
So that was the special Werewolf by Night, and I cannot just say I am so impressed that they've managed to pull this off. Like, I right before watching this, right, I didn't have a lot of expectations for it because, for one thing, it's not necessarily connected to the MCU, so it seems like it's just something that's on its own. And And not just that, but considering it is more of a Disney, you know, produced film, I wasn't expecting so much of the horror and the goriness that you typically would want from a horror type of or Halloween type of project, right? But here we are, right? So this is not a movie, of course, it's a television, but so here we are, like as in terms of this whole series or this whole special, it was pretty clear that there was going to be elements of classic horror movies that we've seen in like uh, Young Frankenstein, like something like that, right? And I don't have a lot of like knowledge in terms of the horror genre. I think that's one of my weaker spots, but I do know like the general aspects of like, you know, Dracula and Young Frankenstein and all that sort of stories, right? And it seems like from here it was definitely going for that classic vibe, or at least when you get from the trailers, it was definitely going for that classic vibe. I mean, it's literally a black and white, you know, television film up until, of course, the last 5 minutes. But the more you watch it, the more you start to realize that yes, it has this classic, you know, story and everything like that. It's that classic horror genre type of, you know, essence to it, but it's very elevated, right? So like initially you think that, oh, this is just going to be a bounty hunter, Hunger Games type of style monster hunt that they're going to do, right? But then the more you get into it, you start to see it's like, oh, it's just more than that, right? It's just a guy who just wants to help his friend get out. There's another character, another anti-bounty, I guess you can say, who doesn't, you know, of course, Elsa, who doesn't want to be a bounty hunter, but actually is doing the opposite, who just wants to have her family heirloom and all that sort of stuff, right? And has her own personal conflict with her stepmother. The more you start to really see all that sink in, the more you kind of appreciate how it has its own unique sort of Halloween-esque story. And let's just go into the fact that I did not expect the amount of bloodiness out of this special. Especially now, like a lot of the fight scenes were really incredible. First off, I mean, they're so well choreographed. I mean, just seeing the way Elsie's fighting, like you get a lot of Black Widow vibes from her, and it's just incredible how she just manages to maneuver and fight, and the choreography of like the actual action sequences are amazing. Like kudos to the director for that. But not just that, but again, the goriness, the bloodiness, I did not expect. I guess it worked for this case because it is in black and white. You don't necessarily see like the blood, the red gushing blood color that you would always get from like, you know, more of the R-rated films. But even then, this was a very, very bloody film. And I did not expect any of that, but at the same time, it was definitely such a wow factor that I thoroughly was just like, oh my god, I was getting myself immersed into all of it. And of course, let's just talk about just a lot of the fighting scenes, right? Like the last part where there's literally that one scene where Werewolf by Night is like fighting off like the family guards or something like that, like in that hallway scene. Holy shit, that was just incredible. Like I'm literally looking at each aspect of that scene. It keeps getting bloodier, it keeps getting gorier, it keeps the high stakes are getting higher. The energy that you feel just watching that whole sequence, like you just can't stop watching it. And it's just like it amazes me how it just amazes me how incredible the cinematography is in terms of how they try to show the monster-esque sort of vibe out of this television series, so or television special. And so, and not just that, right? But we also see Elsa, or Elsie, however she goes by, Bloodstone, have her own fight scenes where she's literally brutal. She's really merciless when she's fighting against the two other bounty hunters and just literally like knifing them from the neck or like bludgeoning them from the head. It's just holy hell. Like, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this, just knowing that this is a Halloween special and the fact that Marvel Studios did not hold back on the goriness of it. I mean, wow, like I could see now I see why so many people enjoyed it, why it's such a unique type of Marvel, you know, project that we've seen, just because yes, it is a Marvel Studios project. It's not necessarily within the MCU, but because of that, they were allowed to be a bit more creative in terms of what they wanted to execute, or at least what the director wanted to execute in terms of just like showing a bit more of this like Halloween horror-esque, terrifying monster type of film that still has its classic vibes from like the old monster movies, but then also having its own style that's a bit more modern, unique, especially with some of the fight sequences that we've seen, the goriness, the blood, even seeing kind of just how, like, there is even one part where Elsie is holding it's like, you know, touching the werewolf by night by the hand, and it kind of gives me a bit more of like the more the typical classic movies that we've always seen with, like, you know, a girl who encounters, like, you know, a monster, right, and showing that, well, this monster is not really a monster, it's like a beast, right, like they have feelings too. And that's what we're kind of seeing out of this, is that like these monsters who, like, at least with the two that we see, Man Thing and Werewolf by Night, they're not the merciless savages that they come to be, or at least they look in terms of like monster hunters, right? Like, yes, they are monsters, yes, they're supernatural beings, but they still have like their own feelings. They're not as bad as people think. They're not the typical villainous type, right? They're just doing their own thing, and here they are kind of just trapped in this whole situation just because a family member just died, and now they gotta pass over, you know, this red diamond thingy to the next worthy contender, right? So, and yeah, again, I really appreciate how they really done this. Again, I'm seeing lots of great like monster elements to it, the classic horror stuff, and just, again, I mean, I totally am surprised how great this whole television special is. I mean, honestly, at this point, I really wish we can see more Werewolf by Night, because this is just an incredible feat that I've seen from Marvel, and how they managed to just have their own depiction of this. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely rewatch this type of special in the future, even if it's not connected to MCU. Again, this is just a great job. There's really nothing more I can say about it. I mean, I was just truly shocked by it. It was just amazing to watch. It was even hilarious at times. There was a lot of charm to it. Yeah, no, this was amazing Marvel special that I've seen, and I hope and I wish that Marvel, and just looking into the more general aspect of the MCU, it's like we've been so disappointed with everything that's been happening in Phase 4 so far, and I know that we've had a bit of this messiness, this disjointedness, and all that sort of stuff. So it's really nice to see that we have a Halloween special that has little to no connections to it, and just to see that there's a bit of this hope from Marvel Studios that, hey, at least we can get some good projects out of them, especially one that's so different. Because yes, we have gotten Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, yes, we've had WandaVision, and I think WandaVision, it's leagues of its own in terms of like the whole TV aspects of it. Like, it's very different from what we see here in Werewolf by Night, because Werewolf by Night, it's more of that classic tone of like monster flick type of films, right? WandaVision's more like supernatural. Well, they're both supernatural, but that one is a bit more like mind-boggling type of witchcraft type of series right there, right? And here we're kind of seeing a bit more of like the monster-esque stuff. But then when we compare it to Doctor Strange 2, it's like Doctor Strange 2 could have been this great Werewolf by Night sort of tone, or even storytelling, cinematography for a sense, but it never got to that, like, it never got to that level. And here it's like we're finally seeing that level of like creativity that we would all wanted to have seen in Marvel as of this point. But this was a great Marvel presentation that we got. It had the monster, it had the classics, it had its own kind of style, it had the gore, it had the blood, it had the action sequences, it had everything. And I don't think I've ever been this engrossed by something like this by Marvel before. So yeah, and I wish I could, and I mean, this is only 54 minutes, but that was a really great way to spend 54 minutes, especially for the Halloween spirit. So yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say. Again, this was an amazing thing to watch. What did you think? Have you had the chance to watch Werewolf by Night? Did you enjoy as much as I did? Do you like the monster element to it, the classic type of monster story that we've seen in, like, you know, some of the 30s and 40s before? We've even seen them doing callbacks for those. So how do you feel about that? Do you want to see more Werewolf by Night? I certainly want to, but what about you? And what are things that really, really grabbed your attention? Was it the fight sequences? Was it the gore and the bloodiness? Or was it something else? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe.